Hello everyone, this is Weenat for The Heart Speaks by Emily Hart. This is the first episode of my website's audiocast named Speaking from the Heart. I want to talk about the passage from the Gospel today. Then repay to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God. Let me read first the reflection that I included in my daily reading video today from the Catholic Missal. As the Jewish officials began to muster up evidence for the condemnation of Jesus, there is no better response given to them than what Jesus gave, but the response continues to reverberate in our hearts. It calls us to a sober reflection and self-examination. Those moments where we spend the time meant for God to do other personal runs. There is time for everything. We cannot really rob God, but we do rob ourselves of some spiritual benefits when we shortchange our resources meant for worship into personal comfort. As it is said, you cannot rob Peter to pay Paul. What is the Caesar in your life? That bad habit, that addiction, that laziness. It is time to give yourself back to God because it belongs to God. Whatever we do in life is only a participation in the plans of God. We are vessels of God and we must return to Him, whom we truly belong to. Hence, we should never be lost in the crowd, advancing a pull-him-down syndrome, forgetting that we are nothing but vessels in the hands of the Almighty, and should return the same to God without prejudice to other responsibilities. Who is your Caesar? What is your vice, your addiction? It might be shopping. It might be talking about people behind their backs. It might be spending too much time in front of the computer. It might even be having too much pride. Spending too much on things that you do not need because your room is crowded with purchases that you hardly use is a vice. You could use that extra money that you have to give to the less fortunate, especially now that everybody is in dire need of support because of the pandemic. Talking behind people's backs about their business is pretty useless, especially if you do not have any supporting facts. The things you talk about are just things that you got from others too. It just keeps on going and going until the original statement gets muddled or multiplied into such a horrendous story. It's a waste of time, and that time can be spent talking to God instead, worshiping Him, praising Him, and thanking Him for the things that He gave you. Spending too much time in front of the computer. Facebook is the culprit, huh? We can spend hours and hours on Facebook, liking others' posts, sharing their story, watching funny videos. Before you know it, the whole morning has gone by, and all the things you intended to do that morning is still there, undone. And you say to yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. Not a minute spent thinking about God. And pride, our worst enemy. We think too much of ourselves. We think that we are all-powerful and indestructible. But all that we have comes from God. There's nothing we have achieved in our lives without God's help. His hand is on everything, even the smallest accomplishments, even the breath that we take. All are gifts from God. But do we thank Him for it? Do we consider for a minute that we can never do anything without Him? We forget. Any moment our lives might be extinguished, just like that. We have to start being grateful. We have to start taking the time to thank Him, really thank Him. See, being thankful every day sets up the rest of it. Waking up in the morning thanking Him that you are awake, healthy, breathing normally, tasting the food you're eating for breakfast, enjoying the freshness of the air because it's been raining for hours and the air that you're breathing is clear. Those are things that we should be grateful for. Thank you, God. Thank you. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever. from Psalm 118, verse 29. Have a great day, everyone.